Let's talk about a royalty stream that's pulling in billions of dollars all over the world, but for some reason, most artists in the US never see a single cent of it. It's a massive hole in your potential income, and we're about to break down exactly why it's there, and more importantly, how you can fix it. So let me just ask you this straight up. Are you missing out on up to 60% of your global royalties? It sounds crazy, right? But for most musicians based here in the US, the answer is a pretty shocking, yep. I mean, just look at that number. We're talking about 30 to 60% of your entire global performance income just being left on the table. This isn't just a rounding error, folks. It's a huge chunk of your money that's just floating out there, waiting to be claimed. Okay, so what is this money and where is it going? Let's pull back the curtain on what is, for many artists, a totally mysterious and misunderstood royalty stream. It all boils down to this thing called neighboring rights. Now, this is super important. These are not royalties for writing the song. These are royalties for the specific recording of that song. So if you performed on a track, whether you're the lead singer, the drummer, or even a session guitarist, you are owed money every single time that recording is broadcast in public. And where does this money come from? Well, all over the place, really. We're talking about FM radio in France, satellite radio like SiriusXM, the music playing in a coffee shop in Japan, the background tunes at the gym, or even on a non-interactive streaming service like Pandora. Every one of those plays generates a tiny bit of cash that, believe me, adds up to something big. Okay, this is probably the most crucial thing to get your head around. Think of it like this. Your PRO, like ASCAP or BMI, they collect publishing royalties for the songwriter. That's for the idea of the song, the notes and the words. But neighboring rights are for the performers on the actual recording, the thing people listen to. So if you wrote and performed the song, guess what? You're owed money from two different streams, and they're collected by completely different people. So that brings us to the big question, right? Why is this a multi-billion-dollar industry that seems to have a giant blind spot when it comes to American artists? Well, the reason is kind of simple, and honestly, pretty frustrating. It all comes down to this one single fact. Unlike almost every other developed country, the United States does not pay performance royalties when a song is played on good old-fashioned AM/FM radio. And that one little policy creates this massive ripple effect around the world. And here's that ripple effect. It's basically a you don't pay us, we don't pay you situation. Because the US doesn't pay foreign artists for radio play here, many countries around the world just withhold those payments from US artists in return. So what happens? Your song gets played on the radio in Berlin or a bar in Sydney, you earn royalties, they get collected, and then they just sit in a foreign bank account with your name on it, never making it to you. Now here's where it gets really serious. That money doesn't just sit there forever. After a few years, any unclaimed royalties get swept into what the industry calls a black box. And from there, it gets redistributed to other people, usually the biggest record labels and superstars based on their market share. So yeah, your money literally gets taken from you and given to someone else. Okay, so we've established there's money out there, and it has your name on it. But who specifically is entitled to a piece of this pie? Because it's not always just the artist you see on the album cover. The breakdown is actually pretty clear. We can use the payout structure from SoundExchange, which handles these kinds of royalties in the US, as model. A full 50% goes to the owner of the master recording. That might be your record label, or if you're independent, that's you. Then 45% goes to the main featured artist or band. But here's the part a lot of people miss. A crucial 5% is set aside specifically for non-featured musicians and vocalists. That's right, the session players and backup singers are owed money too.
All right, this is the part you've been waiting for. We know what the problem is. We know why it exists. So let's talk about the solution. How do you stop your money from disappearing into that black box and actually get it into your pocket?
It's a pretty straightforward 4-step plan. First things first, you absolutely must be registered with SoundExchange here in the US. That's non-negotiable. Second, you need to sign up with the Global Neighboring Rights Administrator, a company whose whole job is to chase down your money from all these collection societies around the world. Third, and this is huge, you have to make sure your metadata is perfect. We're talking ISRC codes, who played what on the track, all of it. And finally, just be ready to prove you were on the recording if a society asks for it.
And hey, if you're thinking, wow, that sounds like a lot of work, just think about this. A US indie artist with just a moderate amount of radio play in a few European countries could easily be looking at tens of thousands of dollars in unclaimed money. I'm not kidding. We've seen cases where it's as much as $40,000 just sitting there. So, you gotta remember, this isn't some lottery ticket. This is money you have already earned. It's sitting in bank accounts all over the globe, and it belongs to you. The only question is, are you gonna go get it? Your money is waiting. Go claim it before someone else does.